Well, my darlings, it's time for another few hours of Elden Ring. It's currently Thursday. It's right around 2:40 p.m. Pacific where I am. We just spent the last hour or so talking about DK30 projects. If any of you on YouTube are wondering where that is, we just put it on Twitch for this time since mostly the Twitch folk tune into and participate in that. And we managed to get some of the live analysis of their projects, and it was wonderful. And I'm hooked on this game. Yesterday I played Tunic, which I'm glad I played, but I actually did not like very much. Tomorrow we're going to play Storybook Brawl, which I'm excited about. But this was the first week since the game released that I didn't only play Elden Ring, and I thought to myself, let's do only Elden Ring next week. So we filled the entire next week with Elden Ring, and half of the week after that with Elden Ring, just to make sure that I have about, 6 more days of full playing allocated. So let's talk a little bit about what happened in the last stream. Basically, a lot of the last stream was trying to clear out all the rest of this area on the ground and trying to clear out these left and right shards on either side of the lake. And what we found is that we were unable to get up on top of this area, which might look like I'm lying due to the map, but this is actually an enormous cave that's underneath this extremely high plateau, which is just incredible. And we wandered through here. We found this gorgeous Raya Lucaria crystal tunnel. We explored and found this incredible Carrion study hall, where it seems like we're missing an item to be able to give us access to this eastern point. I don't know what that item might be, but that's okay. We won't spoil ourselves on it. So we haven't actually explored much in this under area. We haven't been able to reach this under area at all yet. This entire section is collapsed. And other areas that we haven't explored up here, we haven't done any of this right area here. And also, we still haven't gotten onto this shard. So it's basically like this is unexplored, this area unexplored, and this area unexplored. We haven't gotten there. But lots of little filling in elements have occurred. Lots of little filling in elements have occurred. And one very funny thing that happened is one of my friends was playing and discovered a whole section of Stormvale Castle that I didn't even hit. A whole section of Stormvale Castle I didn't even hit. So eventually I actually want to come back to Caelid, but I think that today we're going to do a relatively simple goal. And we're going to go here. Jeez, Bunny says, what? This game? Yeah, I'm actually going to... I'm going to show this. I was literally watching a friend. Literally was watching a friend play. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's loud. Fuck out of here. Well. Maybe here's a better way to show. Well, you know what? Here, I'll... Oh. Alright, let me try this one more time. Stormvale Castle main gate entrance. The main gate's open. Alright, so... You see this area, this little archway? It's hard to see right here, but this little area here. As it turns out, there's a ladder just... See this column here? Over there's a ladder that if you climb up, you can go this way. And go along an entire section of the rampart that I didn't even notice. And so I've beaten the bosses in Stormvale, but apparently there's just like a whole section. And there's an additional, completely different area that I've sort of known about, but I just haven't gone there. Because you need to be able to fall. I'm not strong enough to fall. So the area that I want to try to do is cross off this area here. I did venture deep to this ravine-veiled village here and this ruin-strewn precipice. And it's completely indiscernible here, but these two bonfires are vertically very, 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 very different. So, I was trying to, again, clear out the lake area, so I went to the edge of this to try to just clear out this little strip. So I want to try to go up here, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to the King's Realm Ruin. Yeah, we already have the patch. We already have the patch. Got the patch installed. And I mean, I'm sure there's improvements that have been made. Oh yeah, I just got done playing Tunic yesterday, and in Tunic, the button that's jump in this game is the run button in that game. But your Grant says, who's the coolest enemy and who's the hardest so far? The coolest would certainly be the Ancestor Spirit. Yeah, and as for the NPC markers, I don't know what actually happens with that. Oh, there it is. Muriel, Pastor of Vows. What do you know? Yeah, so it is showing some of them. Guys, the patch is on. By the way, if anyone asks anything about the patch, can someone just notify that we already have everything in and we're totally good and we're caught up? Because we've already been asked that like 16 times today. E.G., forgive me. These royal grounds were placed in our trust, but we stood no chance. Hey, Culture Khan, I got that book. I got that book you recommended. Oh, that's what that is. Do you like it? It's been really an interesting read. Being a little sloppy, but that's fine. That's what this game's about. Oh, hi. All right. So let me. Okay. So I need to pause. I need to pause. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna clear. Okay. Really important. No spoilers. None. Don't give me any spoilers. No backseating. Zell Twitch, for instance, says, Yo, Day 9, I am almost the exact same spot as you are. Non-spoiler tip. I, too, was trying to figure out how to get the item to access that eastern area, and it doesn't seem like something most people will just randomly stumble across. This is the kind of thing that's a spoiler. This is a spoiler tip. And it disappoints me. It hurts me. It ruins my fun. Please, 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 please don't do that sort of thing. Please, for the love of God, please, pretty please with sugar on top, don't spoil by telling me that. Because here's what you probably intended to communicate, which is, hey, I wanted to let you know you were looking in obvious places. I don't think you'll stumble across it. I think you actually have to look kind of hard. Suddenly, that makes the wandering into new areas less exciting. Right? It makes it less exciting. So, for instance, I was excited to go into this area and do normal basic wandering because I'm looking to try to get the item that I need to make this connection. And because I felt like it might be in an area where I'm looking, it makes me eager to be there. Now, if it didn't turn out to be there, that's totally okay. I was still excited. I was still anticipating. I was still feeling good. But now I have the sensation, oh, well, I guess I'm being communicated to that this is not here. And Zeltwitch has deeply apologized. It's all right. It's all right. You were trying not to. I understand that. The reason I'm making this point is absolutely not to specifically dunk on you. Like, hey, everyone, make sure this one person who is trying to be helpful and is clearly communicating like a nice person, let's try to shit on them as much as possible. Absolutely not my intent. But rather, I am taking what you're saying and trying to use it as a communication to every possible permutation of how someone might interpret this, to explain why. Because when you have a few thousand people that are tuning in at any given point in time, and probably a few 100,000 people that will tune in, I'm going to need to repeat myself and share things again and again for those that haven't seen that, haven't heard, haven't listened to this sort of analysis, that sort of thing. And so what we encourage you to do is to speak in a retrospective pattern. Oh, yeah. I just watched that part where... Oh, this is a trap. Sean, I watched that part where you got to Siofra. And Siofra's really... I loved that area. I was blown away the first time. And all of a sudden, we're having some communication about something that I am well past, well aware of, and things are feeling good. And I gotta be honest, just like for all my please, for the love of God, oh Jesus, etc., oh my God. For all that, I have basically been not spoiled. I think that there was one connection to an elevator in Stormvale Castle that someone was like, hey Sean, you missed the elevator back there. And I was like, oh, come on. And what I try to do is to create little anticipatory things. Like, hey, which direction should we go to next? And I remember when I was like, where should we go next? And a ton of people were like, go to Limgrave East. And I was like, huh, alright, well, looks like a lot of people just want to do completionism. And as it turns out, that was the link to the Siofra River Valley. Oh, hi. Is that the same guy? Save point. So yeah, oh shit, there you go. Let me just say, Zeltwitch, I apologize for making you feel alarmed. Like, oh shit, did I ruin Sean's day? Hey, Sean just subbed, and I'm like, ah! Not my intent. I'm super sorry if I made you feel super self-conscious and bad. That is something that I need to work on my judgment of, which is that, like, I know where I'm going, and I know my intent. And it's sort of like, it's like a magnification thing. If I say something that's on a scale of to 1 to 10, like a 2 in terms of negative impact, it can feel like a 10. Wait, what is this? This is walled off, is it? Oh, yes! Oh my god, yes! Mockthal gifting 10. Sean making his way through the hidden area. Oh my god, hell yeah. Alright. This game does a good job with that. I am the betterest gamer. Hey, Mokthal, how are you doing this fine Thursday, Mokthal? James Hand says, I'm curious what your opinion on there being a dedicated jump button in a Souls game. How does it change your view of traversing levels in the environment? Well, it's kind of funny because I have a lot to say about what is honestly pretty bland. Like, my bland remark is this. There's been jumps in every single Dark Souls. They're slightly awkward in terms of how the button is placed. Like, you have to be running and you, like, push L2, which is now crouch, and that's how you know, that's how you can do it. I'm going to curl around the outside. So I actually feel like it's virtually the same setup. I would actually describe it as not that they included jump when they used to not have jump, but whoops. Rather that they made jump an easier button. Deneb says, Danon, you will die at the next boss. Hope that isn't a spoiler. Yeah, of course it is. Why would it not be? I mean, if you, for instance, watch my last broadcast set, we one-shot every single boss that we encountered, I think. Well, we one-shot a lot of them. So when you say that, that communicates to me that there is a big epic boss up here. So again, stop trying to figure out ways to talk about the future. Just stop. Now, Deneb, you might have been doing a jokey comment. You might have been saying, like, ooh, I'm gonna... Should stagger. There it is. You might have been trying to make the joke that, oh, I'm just trying to make a joke, right? And Deneb says, I have no idea what I'm talking about, so nah, it's not a spoiler. All right, this is a great example. Because now there's a different thing that we get to talk about. Oh, boy. Killing babies. Killing babies. And that is no joke spoilers. No joke spoilers. Because again, Deneb, you might have been making a joke. You know, like, hey, I have a prediction, Sean. This is a spoiler. You're going to die more than once in this game. You know, when you get any more specific than that exact example I just provided, I don't think I've explored in this, like, in these ruins yet. When you do something that's any more specific than that, it's completely unclear if you're saying a joke or not. Because, humorously enough, Deneb, that example I gave, oh, dude, you're gonna die so many times coming up, was something that happened. That happened on this stream. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, hey, don't say that. You know, you're letting me know that it's a boss. Oh, I remember what it was. It was someone who hadn't tuned in previously, and I was just deciding it was time to go back to Margit the Fell Omen. And he's like, hey, Day9, dude, the next boss that you're going to face, oh, yeah, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a really hard one. And I'm like, oh, I've already fought against him. He's like, oh, I didn't realize that. And I was like, yes, and if that had happened, if I hadn't known, you've spoiled the fact that there's a major boss here. Still on your shirt? Oh yeah, I'll read on a boat, I'll read with a goat. So yeah, this is why I'm a stickler on it, is because one of the core things about this game is surprise and wonder and amazement. And it does it in every axis. Oh, I sneezed and my cat's coming to check in on me, huh? Come on, baby. Hello. Table 5, does it frustrate you to constantly have to talk about this to stream? No, not really. I mean, occasionally I get a little frustrated when someone, like, really properly messes up. And, you know, I voiced when those specific things happen. But, you know, you gotta understand. I'm a streamer, which means at any given point in time, there are people tuning in. Like, it could be that the 2,000 people that are tuned in one day are the completely different 2,000 people the next day. So, I have actually spent most of... Oh my god. Most of the streams forever and always repeating myself again and again. Oh, look at that little dog jump. The Neb says, understand your perspective, however, with my comment, you have no idea what's coming up. Anyway, it is beautiful that you enjoy the game without help. No, but again, like, so you had not played the game, so you knew that. You knew that you were making a generalized joking comment without any knowledge of what was happening. What I'm suggesting is that no one else knows that. And if I say, hey, make it clear that it's a joke. Let's say that was the rule. If you're going to make a joke, make it clear that it's a joke. What happens is, that's some gray area. What one person thinks is a really obvious joke, another person might go, oh my god, you're spoiling something big. And so there's a lot of information in there. Oh my god, why is my nose so itchy? Oh, goodness. So again, I don't know your intent when typing something. If you typed parenthesis, joke, end parenthesis, hey, day 9. Actually, give me a second. There's something in my nose. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god, there's a cat hair that got stuck in my nose. Sorry, this is quite gross. Pinfador says he's picking. Oh, I absolutely am. Ah. Okay. So, again, Deneb, so I'm going to use this example of, hey, it's a joke. Let's say you did parentheses, joke. You're going to die on the next boss. You know, like... You might, like, I shouldn't say you, because obviously I don't want to assume what's in your head. A person might think to themselves, cool, I have correctly attributed what's going to happen, where and why. I've successfully noted that it's a joke, so I don't know what's going to happen next, and I've communicated that, and we're in the clear, and everything's great. Well, you know what might actually wind up happening? I might read that and go, oh, so the next boss that's up ahead is easy. There is a boss up ahead, and I will easily kill it. And that's what I will... I gotta hand it to him. Finally. Good fingers, man. Okay. Oh! Oh. Jesus. Oh, gross. Oh. Oh. So I might inadvertently misinterpret someone who's like, oh, this is a joke. I'm clearly telling a joke. You know, this sort of thing. I might go, oh, so you're trying to imply the opposite. So this is why I start to say, hey, no joke spoilers. Again, even if someone did that. Or there might be something where maybe there's a boss ahead and you don't want to reveal any information. And so you're like, ooh, you know, joke. Oh, Day 9 may or may not have an issue with the next boss. And in my head, I'm like, oh, is there a boss ahead? You know, there's so many tiny assumptions that happen with joke telling. that, one, gets lost when we're typing. And two, that's easy to interpret in the opposite direction and to draw conclusions from. That basically makes us say, you know what, no joke spoilers, no future-looking spoilers, nothing. And the best way to work with this, is if there's something you want to share, ask. So, for instance, what was it? Was it just... Who typed that? I don't remember who typed it. But someone was asking, like, hey, can I give you a quality of life spoiler? I'm actually just going to go teleport back to here. Hey, can I give you a quality of life spoiler? And I was like, yes, please, give me a quality of life spoiler. Character looks friendly.
Well, look at you. We don't receive many visitors. I presume you are tarnished?
Oh my god.
What brings you here?
Is this a realm of giants? He says we.
Pardon me. It's hardly my place to ask, is it? I am E.G.
E.G.
A blacksmith who once served the Carian royals. An old codger who refuses to retire his rusty hammer. So here I am, still quietly plying my trade on this spot. Perhaps you'd like a display? These bones are old, but still able.
I would love it. Oh, purchase. Oh, summer smoothing stones. Wait. Sick. Sick. Wait.
Something. Oh, watch out there. When I'm absorbed in my smithing, I lose sight of all else. If you come too close, I'm apt to cause you harm. I am, after all, terribly large compared to you, Tarnished.
Oh, that's awesome.
Know how hard it is not to break anything while I work. Brave Tarnished. A word of warning, if you please. This territory once belonged to the Carian royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point.
Are Carians giants?
When the Lucari Academy turned on the Carians, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knights' onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor unless you...
Oh, I see Ghosty cleared the chat. Perfect.
The heedless Knights of the Cuckoo.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so I read in the patch notes last night, maybe this morning. Let's cast them. There it is. Another one that I missed over here. I don't know if this is the curse. Interesting. So, there's possibly a cavern over here. I've not done any exploring to the right here. So I'm actually going to go... How many do I have right now? 11,000? But yeah, okay, so I didn't look at chat for a while because, as you might have noticed, I was a wee bit preoccupied with running from explosions. So anytime there's a big dangerous area, either be it through spell or poison or something like this, there's often big goodies afoot. Goodies of footies. Is there a large... climb up? Okay. Gotcha. Yes, 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 yes. I feel so good. I love these little spots, man. Ah, man, little eyeballs, dry balls. The house tunics. Oh, I was really disappointed. Oops. Yeah, I remember reading in the patch notes that there were some, oh Jesus, some blacksmiths that got the ability to sell stones. Smithing stones. Or merchants, excuse me. So I actually would like that information. Are there any merchants that we've encountered that have changed some purchasing? It's all the vendors? Oh. Yo, dude. E.g. sold stones before the patch. Be that as it may, Camroth, I'm curious about the ones that we've encountered that may have been affected by the patch. Any caves? Early game merchants are marked on the map now, too? Really? Jesus, this map's fucking big. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Look, and there's another one there. Holy shit. I think there's another one right here, maybe, too. Look at that. Oh, there's another... Oh, my God. Oh. Where's the lady that's just sitting by a tree? Oh my God, look at this. I gotta read this. Look, there's a little guy. Okay. Sorry, but why are you removing that? Yeah, let me explain what I'm doing. So, they changed the map so that way the merchants are just labeled on the map. So before I would put a little purchase icon here, but I don't need to do that because they're already on the map. Let's see here. Kyle Stream Stuff says, never liked Dark Souls, watched Day and I talk about mental models, and now beaten Capra Demon while cursed, had to sub. Yeah! That's a big fight right there. Yeah, no, I mean, like, glancing over and I see Restive Nebula say reading chat is can be so painful sometimes. Yeah, I mean, like, you don't actually have to tell me what happened for me to know that I was just talking about smithing stones. And I asked in a retroactive manner, hey, are there any merchants that got the ability to sell stones that I've been to? And the answer to that is either yes or no. And I bet you people were like, well, you see, generally speaking, the way to get more smithing stones is to do X, Y, Z. You'll certainly need to offer the heart of the dragon to Barniculus the Great. And then he'll sell smithing stones only up to 4. And I'm like, stop typing! So let's see here. So we have this gate, and nice. So we have that there. Finger reader crown. Okay. So let's see here. So I mean, I'm just gonna go all the way back to Church of Ella. The real smithing stones are the friends we find along the way. Fat chance. Hey, do you have any smithing stone ores?
Well, you're back.
Nothing. Boo. Although I you know, I kind of want to get this one. No. Oh, Ghost Ark just cleared the chat again? Oh, I love to see that. So let's see here. We hit. How do I do this? There it is. Okay. It's so good. So I mean, I love it. I am in love with the fact that I am like as blunt as can be about not talking about future things, and then as I'm doing stuff, I'm just seeing my chat get cleared again and again and again and again as people are just like, okay, totally hear you, but if you want to get this stone, you need to go to this person. Mods, feel free to issue one-day bans. Feel free to. Magus OW says, can you talk about your engagement with the lore in the Souls games? Is it something you only try and piece together through environmental storytelling, or do you go back and try to find all the details? Yeah, and by the way, that is the perfect kind of question to wait and see when I'm starting to engage with chat and ask again.
You if I don't want.
Oh, smithing stone 1.
Well, be on your way then.
Alright, dude, look at this. Yeah, I mean, it is a tale as old as time, saying, hey, Chuck, could you do me a favor and not make a joke? For instance, let's use this ridiculous joke about how spoilers could work. And someone's like, I have an idea, let me do the exact same thing. Smithing stone 2, okay. Okay, better.
Have a safe journey.
You know what's funny? I haven't even looked. Smithing stone 5, huh? I betcha this guy has force. What are we looking for right now? Yeah, sorry, I didn't even say this. What we're trying to do right now is revisit all the blacksmiths, because the patch just came out. Oh, avoiding the dragon for now. Patch just came out and revealed to us that many of the merchants in the area now sell smithing stones.
Trade again.
Oh, you don't have anything? Oh, you jerk. All right, you know, I'm gonna go back to the main Karya Manor entrance. DJ says, "Can you show us the merchants you have visited so we can say if you sell stones, or do they count as spoilers?" See, that's an example of a question that I'm quite a fan of. I love when I get asked a question like that. I love a question like that. Because it gives me the chance to say, nope. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stabby, stab, stab. I mean, that is disgusting. I love this. Yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop talking about spoilers and the nature of spoilers. We're gonna stop. We're just gonna cut that out. We're just gonna clear the message. We're clearing it out. And what I would say is, hey, let's steer away from the nature of spoilers. Talking up or down or positively or negatively to anyone about spoilers. Let's just halt it all. And let's just ask ourselves a completely different question. How many hours deep are y'all? How many hours deep are y'all? Oh, I know these guys. Oh, most of you are way past me. Four playthroughs deep, says Bautist. Dude, it's just so good. Rolox says 18 hours, level 33 Wretch. Wow, really? You play as a Wretch? First Souls game? Man, hell yeah. I love his golden pants as I'm 132 hours in. I feel like I'm close to the end, but I really don't know how I'll do to right. Incredible monster design. Is there a reason you use the torch instead of the lantern since the lantern lets you keep the shield equipped? I mean, I use both. Got my little lantern right here. This is much brighter compared to this. And how much does your shield have guard boost? 62. 62 guard boost. Oh, I see. On the wall, or on the map, this is a solid wall, but in practice, it's actually just ruins. So I'm going to try to clear out this area in front first. Wait for my guard boost to block. That's a throw if I ever saw one. Okay. Oh, yeah, fire range. Jesus. And what's interesting is that the sort of multi-fingeredness on these is really similar to the extra fingers on the great left hand of Godric the Grafted. Rhymed crystal bud. Which makes me feel like whatever affliction happened to these people happened to... It's maybe related to what happened to Godric. Which finally comes back to Magus' question, Magus Overwatch. He was asking about how I consume lore. Yeah, I tend to slowly work through the lore from my own vantage point. And then I like to just watch videos, and then play more, and watch more, and think more, and then watch videos. I tend to like things getting slowly presented to me. Dude, Kazagastar says, "Why I was crushing these? This place was a way worse nightmare for me as a shieldless, squishy wizard baddie, too." Again, I actually tweeted a little bit about this. When someone was like, every person I speak to says that their build is the overpowered build. What the hell? And I think that this game has really sensitive axes. And by this, I mean, the example I keep using is there's some enemies that move side to side. Some enemies that do, like, jumping attacks. Some that, like, charge forward. Some that fly. And this, right away, just makes swords that, or weapons that do this, like an overhead swing. This is really great at hitting flying units. But it's still not as good as this longsword that I was using for a while. Does this heavy load me? Yeah. Like, this longsword is just really fast and good at dealing with hordes of enemies. My Naginata is not. It's like overhands, and then there's one side-to-side swoop. So what I mean by sensitivity to the different axes is like... What I mean by that is that, like, it's not merely that these do different amounts of damage versus the flying dudes. It's like, oh, horizontal weapons will be really strong against these enemies and weak against these enemies. Overhand vertical slash weapons will be strong against these, weak against these. Small changes, like the fact that this sword that I was just showing, this sword, I was using two-handed against a Crucible Knight. So let me just do swing and then, oops, sorry, I'm playing the wrong game. A is roll and tunic. We're playing Dark Souls. So if I was doing swing and then roll, it's a little bit faster than when I was using... Uh-oh. Alright, this is good. It was faster than when I was trying to use this weapon two-handed, going swing, roll. It was just slightly faster with the two-handed sword, which against the Crucible Knight meant that I was able to, after a certain move, get a stab in and then roll away in time. And so, because this game has really sensitive axes, one, it makes it feel like your decisions really matter. I was able to beat that Crucible Knight incredibly gloriously and fist pump like crazy when it happened because I switched to the short sword and that feels great. So that's one thing that it does, but again, this thread that I was talking about, or I was spamming away, in the thread I was talking about the fact that this game makes some things really overpowered. Like, you saw those weird sort of tentacle monsters that are all flaily and wiggly. The ones that are called tacos in the code. Those ones are super weak to bleed. So great, I gave one example of the switching from this naginata to a sword was just fast enough that I could slash and roll. Well, those giant, weird tentacle guys are ultra weak to bleed, so I can kill them no problem. So the game allows certain things to be overpowered versus some types of monsters and some types of enemies. And I think what this does... Oh, those are fingers. So I think that what this does... Oh. I think what this does is it creates the sense that some areas, when you, like, for instance, do what I did with those weird tentacle monsters, which is like you just... Where if I just sit there and stab them a few times and they become staggered, I feel overpowered, but the rest of the enemies, where it's kind of normal, I don't interpret it as, oh, these enemies are really hard. I interpret it as, oh yeah, that's just Dark Souls. I think it's really clever, the fact that this game does that, where... God damn it. And I think these little finger guys are the greatest example of this in the last few minutes that we've played. These little finger guys are pretty straightforward to deal with a shield. They're still a little tough, but they're pretty straightforward. I can't imagine being like a spellcaster. I can't imagine. You know, being someone that's trying to dodge roll against these guys, because the attack patterns are really seemingly erratic. See, I see it now. Woohoo! Man, there's a ton of somber smithing stones in here. What the hell? Soldier Steve says his large hands flip you off every time you cast a spell. The devs knew what they were doing. And I think that those differences are interesting. I think that this is what makes the game make everything seem overpowered, is that because this game is so sensitive with its axes, it's able to make enemies that are super vulnerable to, or super weak against, or super strong against, all manner of things. Oh, come on. I think I can stagger it like this. Yeah. So we are kind of low on healthies. What do you mean by axes? Yeah, sure. So, like, an axis is some characteristic that you can have some number associated with. It's like a dimension to something. So, for instance, if you just have damage and armor, you have damage as an axis, and armor as an axis, and health as an axis. And then if you introduce magical damage and magical resistance, you've introduced more axes. Introduce more characteristics and dimensions that your character can have. And so what I mean by sensitive axes, I mean like do small changes to the numbers on these axes have big effects. And I think that card games tend to be the simplest example of this. Like in Magic the Gathering, if something has 3 toughness, it means it needs to take 3 damage in a single turn to die. If it takes 2 damage, then the next turn, you gotta start over again. All that damage just goes away. And Magic the Gathering has really sensitive axes, kind of as a result of this design. Okay. Let's go this way. Because if you have a 2-3 and you attack me, if I have something that has 4 toughness, your 2-3 can't kill it. It literally can't. If I have something with 3 toughness, your 2-3 can't kill it. It literally can't. And so, in that game, 2 2s and 2 3s and 3 3s and 3 4s and 2 4s and 1 4s feel incredibly different. Again, the axes are very sensitive. Whereas, if you take something like an RPG, where there's something that has 400 health versus 405 health, sometimes it doesn't really feel like that much of a difference. And so the damage axis is very sensitive. The mana axis, the difference between 1 and 2 mana, is a lot, because you don't really get that much mana in a turn in a game of Magic. Lady Rani, we have long awaited you. I pray for your house's swift revival. May the full moon shine upon Caria. And when I say the axes are very sensitive, you have to have a lot of things in your game contributing to making them sensitive. So, for instance, the fact that enemies deal a lot of damage in Elden Ring. The fact that the damage is high is fundamentally connected to vertical slash versus horizontal slash feeling relevant. The time it takes to do a swing feels relevant. It feels relevant because if you're wrong a little bit, you might die immediately. If you're right, they might die. So, like, the health and time to kill is a really significant contributing factor. How many of these do we have? All right. I'm not going to sit. Not yet, at least. What is this, Bloodborne? Smithing Stone 4. And I think that the idea of sensitivity of the axes is something that Souls games do really well, and a lot of games do really poorly. Like, really, really poorly. For instance, there's a number of shooters where if something has 25 bullets in the clip and does 20 damage a shot versus something that has 22 bullets in the clip and does 25 damage a shot, you know, it's like 2 assault rifles, and that's about it. And so, oftentimes, shooters can only make things feel different if they do big changes to guns. And so, what do we see in most shooters? There's a shotgun, a pistol, an assault rifle, and a sniper rifle. These are like the 4 core archetypes that are different enough from each other that you don't need to think that much from a design perspective to make them actually... Uh-oh. Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher. Yep, I think that these are sufficiently different. Also, I'm going to use the restroom in a sec, so hopefully we can get to a slightly safe spot. But, you know, there's a lot of RPGs where an axe versus a mace versus a sword, I mean, they all just deal damage. They all just deal damage. You know, they're just different ways of, you know, this deals 12 damage, this deals 12 damage, this deals 12 damage. It's like the same shit, right? And the game might go, oh, okay, but maybe these enemies are weaker to strike, which would be like, one is weaker to blunt, which would be like the mace. The other is weaker to stab, which would be like the sword. But let's be real. If all the enemies are fucking easy, if all of them die in like 4 or 5 hits anyways, who gives a shit if, oh, if I use my mace, I'll kill him in 4 hits, but if I use my sword, I kill him in 5 hits. And at no point is the player ever under threat at all. So, I mean, like, Quixotic Elixir. By the way, Quixotic, of course, comes from Don Quixote, but for some reason the word is not pronounced Quixotic, it's pronounced Quixotic, which always annoyed me. Anyways, it seems that the axis sensitivity generally applies to games that are punishing or generally difficult. Does this also apply to other great games like Stardew Valley, or does a game like that get texture from another source? I think that punishment is one way to do this, and I'm framing it in terms of damage and combat because that's literally the game that we're playing. But if I take, for instance, Diablo, which is not a difficult game. The way that I want to frame it is, let's frame it from punishment and difficulty, and instead talk about binary good, binary bad. Okay? Binary being the key word here. If I mess up a swing in this game, I will die. That's binary. Or if I swing at just the right time, I'll kill the enemy. That's binary. Brains like binaries. And as a simple example, if you buy a car, you went from not being able to drive and go anywhere to suddenly having access to huge areas of your city. If you go from 1 car to 2 cars, you haven't really given yourself any sort of new binary option, right? And so, Diablo, this is not a challenging game. Diablo is a game that is all about the joy of growing in power and of having a slot machine decorated as a wizard RPG. All right. Here, excuse me. Do not try to hunt my little cord, please. Diablo encountered an issue, or say Diablo-style games, these looter games, encounter an issue where, what's to make you feel the benefit of going from 52 strength to 53 strength? Because each point of strength gives you 1 more damage and 8 more hit points. So if you're late in the game and you're trying to go from 50 health to 50 strength to 51 strength, I guess we're getting now to 805 health, and I guess I'm dealing 108 damage instead of 109. Like, what? Like, these little tiny changes, these are continuous. They're not binary. So how do you make that experience binary? Well, Diablo did something very simple. You need to have strength 55 to equip this item. Boom! It's binary again, right? Oh, if I go from 54 to 55, I go from not being able to wear the armor to being able to wear the armor. And so I think that when there's lots of binary changes, you can do this, you can't do this. You can do this, you can't do this. And there's lots of sensitivity in those ways. If you define sensitivity as the creation of a lot of these binary shifts, then this infuses meaning into all these tiny little tuning number changes. So you brought up the example of Stardew Valley, which is non-competitive, right? So it makes sure that you have very few items that you use for crafting, and whenever you do one action, it tends to give you a small collection of items. You chop down a tree, you get wood, and you get berries, and you get some of the green stuff that for some reason my brain is unable to retrieve right now. You get this collection. Sap, thank you, Armorline. Jesus. Yeah, you get this collection of things. And you go, ooh, okay, I could make maybe 1 preserves jar or I could smelt these things into iron and then make a chest, or, right, you start to have these binaries that are going on. And this actually starts to make your decisions feel very meaningful in binary ways. We got the same resources, and it's not that you got 40 preserves jars and smelted 20 things, and I got 38 preserves jars and smelted 22 things. It's very divergent as a result. And I think that, you know, in the same way, hey, make sure each action that you do doesn't just do one thing in Stardew Valley. If you chop a tree, it gives you the wood, which is what you wanted, but you also get sap and nuts. You want to go to the mines to get coal, well, you're also going to get gems and stones and, you know, weapons and some other things. And then these are all used as different crafting for different subsets of things. So again, the thing that I would point to is that I think that when your game creates lots and lots of binaries, this is what makes the axes feel very sensitive and very rich. Like these changes, small changes that the player makes, have big outcomes, because it's not really that they're big or severe, it's that they're binary. Binariness really clicks with human brains. And with that, I'm going to go use the restroom and come back and just keep crushing it. Stay here. Despy, can you entertain everyone? What a good cat. Oh my god, I left my headphones out there. I'm a dumbass. Alright. This is the problem. Problem. Alright. Alright, here we go. I know, does this offend you? Does it offend you that I'm trying to put in headphones? Alright, jeez. So to be clear, the reason I'm not resting is I've put in a lot of effort to clear out all the enemies in this area below. Oh, are you sad to have lost your friends? Let's try to counterattack. Because our awesome Naginata doesn't quite kill them. But also with this stun stagger business, gives me the chance to backstab, which, with one of my talismans, lets me heal. I see. No way in? No way in, no way out. gonna go this way first. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about sensitivity lately. Because, dude, I don't know if this is the case for you, but, like, every single one of my friends is playing through the shit out of this game. Like, oh my god, me and my friends, we're annoying when it comes to this game. Oh, you know, that episode of Reacher, starring Jack Reacher, who really just figures shit out and beats people up. Reminded me a bit of Elden Ring. Oh my god, it's just the worst. So I'll probably want to jump onto that shit. Okay. Runar. Love it. Sarah 3 says, Sean, I've heard a lot of discussion around the idea of enemies scaling dependent on player level. Personally, I always hate it because it makes the world feel devoid of any sense of progression. I also enjoy going back to newbie areas and feeling godlike. Thoughts? 100% agree with you. I truly fucking hate it. I just hate it. And we actually talked a good bit about literally exactly this. Ah, I didn't hold it long enough. Hit me. Let's top off. Yeah, I mean, the, let's see, I hold B, and then I'm gonna hit A here. So now we should be down here. So I've cleared out most of this area, so I still have to be careful in this region. So actually, I kind of slunk up this way and did this area. I haven't really done this area at all. There it is. All right. Man, these are some areas here, man. All right. We are here. Okay. What on earth is this about then, huh? Oh. Maybe I could come down here from this way or something? Maybe this is like a path that I will eventually interpret as a shortcut? I don't know. Sort of on high alert still. On the roof of this shit? So I want to go this way. Thought that I could just stagger it out. I'm gonna hold back on using anything yet. So this goes... So we're actually going straight north. So this will lead us into the secondary courtyard, and I don't want to go here yet. Yeah, I'm really into this idea. Alright. Same story. Really into this idea of sensitivity. Sensitivity. Oh, did I just literally not go here? Oh, I guess I just didn't do that. Alright. Bastard scared the crap out of me. Sensitivity. Uti says, I think that Day 9 character could use a shower. Hey, excuse me. Oh, you mean the blood. Oh. What, do these guys just endlessly pop out of the ground? I mean, what is this? Oh, God. Come on. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Alright, now's about time to consume this. I think the big guys might be limited in number. What? Did I actually not clear this area out? Seems no. Seems no. Uh-oh. So we are running low, huh? So here's where we wandered up before. It is getting way darker in here. Oh, you're kidding me, man. I guess I have to roll then. Ugh. Is this the game? Oh, I did not understand the orientation of what I was looking at before. Did not understand the orientation of what I was looking at. Is this 2 or 1? Oh my god, they freak me out so much. Carrion piercer. Okay. I like Ice Crest shield. Oh, sick. What's this thing do? That is light as hell. Goodness. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think I have a pretty good sense that this central area is just Fingertown. Alright. So I don't actually think we need to spend terrifically much time down here. I don't think we do. Although I am, like, moving super slowly and am keenly on the lookout for stuff. Before I sort of finish off my circuit. Okay, so we... There's the starting area. You can see there's the swell of light from the bonfire. / Lost Grace. Ah, fuck. I gotta stop trying to go for slashes on them. Yeah, Severance is one of the sweetest shows I've started watching in a long time. And, like, a lot of times I feel like when there's a show that has, like, a good mystery to that... What? Fuck you. When there's a show that has a good mystery, it just keeps milking its mystery. And never gets anywhere. And this show goes places. Severance is one of those shows it's a once-a-week release. So, of course, things are happening slowly. Ugh. It is on Apple TV. Yeah, dude, just wait till it finishes. Calpurnius, we're going to give you a timeout, because again, I am, we don't want spoilers. We don't want spoilers. Yeah, and to be clear, combat tricks, like, ooh, because what was posted was that the hands really hate fire. We don't even want that kind of information, because part of the game is figuring stuff out. Again, if I haven't done something, even if I've played against a boss several times and I haven't done some sort of interesting technique to beat it, don't tell me. Oh, fuck, this scared the shit out of me. Well, I got them all. I think I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, because, like, for instance, there's been a couple times where I've been like, oh my god, this is amazing, holy shit, yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, wait, I spawned up here. I think I actually will go back down here temporarily. Just get my stuff back. Like, there's the kind of sturdy knights that I was having a lot of trouble with. Until... I was having a lot of trouble with until I realized that I could do a guard block attack, and it would stagger them. And then I was like, oh, awesome. And that, like, moment of learning, oh, that feels so great. But if someone came up to me and was like, dude, do the guard block thing here, then it staggers him. There you go. Then it's ruined the opportunity for me to figure it out. And my favorite comparison would be like if you picked up the crossword puzzle and you just wrote all the words in and then handed the crossword puzzle back to me. Okay. So on one hand, I understand that the sort of comment's coming from a nice place. Ooh, Sean was having trouble against these guys. He seems to be cursing. Oh my goodness. How can I help? I'm actually having a fantastic time. Having a fantastic time. So let's see. We've gone through most of the this under area. These two areas connect to each other. So what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come to this manor at the lower level and try to sneak across. Oh yeah, Biohazard says, my biggest problem with the game is the fact that I'll never play the game for the first time again. Yeah. Yeah, it sure sucks. So if I'm on this upper bridge, safely removed, from the Grabblies below. How's the performance on the PC? I have no idea. I'm a PS5 gamer. See, so I never actually wound up going this way. Emperor Kirby says, earlier on the stream, you talked about the verticality of the game and the difficulty of going up. Can you explain how you feel that comes across in this game? Yeah, I mean, I think that... What? Oh, you're on all sides. Got it. All sides of fucking me. Okay. So obviously, one of the simplest things that exists in any game, you have a small challenge, you overcome that challenge, you get a pip of satisfying chemicals in your body, rewarding you for having done the thing. I tried hard at the thing, and then I did the thing. Huzzah! So, you know, playing miniature golf. You know, having that little challenge, trying to get that ball in that hole, might take you a little bit of time, but by God, when you do it, you feel good. Platformers that give you a mechanic and then let you spend some time with it. Oops. Spend some time getting used to it. A series of kind of basic puzzles. It's nice. Very similarly, like, you know, I just experienced what one might describe as some bullshit. And I died, and now I'm going to learn from it, and it's going to let me get past this. Learning is not that hard. In this game, there's spaces like, you know, if you look up this way, there's this huge vertical cliff face. So, in fact, when I was trying to navigate to this Erd tree earlier, it turned out I actually had to go up like this and curl, and then kind of like work my way through here, and then back this way, and then I had to like go up here, and I had to come down, I had to curl around again. It was actually challenging for me to do that. And I actually said to myself, okay, in a moment, I'm going to figure out how to get through this whole area, and it'll be a lot of fun. Verticality, aka these huge cliff faces here, create a problem. Not an enormous problem, but a little bit of a problem. In the same way that a single course in a mini golf place, it's a little bit of a problem. It's not an enormous problem. You don't need to practice the mini golf course for like 2 hours just to do this one single course. But like, this little tiny challenge creates a little bit of an obstacle that causes you to do a little bit of work that then causes reward. And I really like verticality because it's a simple way, and frankly, the y-axis is underused, in my opinion. In my humble but completely correct opinion. Like verticality exists, but it's not really that used. As an example, there's facilities where you're on level 1 and you work your way up to level 2, and then it's just another sort of flat area. Then you work your way up to level 3 and there's just another flat area. Fuck. Thought I had my thing up. And I think it's really natural to steer away from making highly vertical elements. It's natural to steer away from it in an open world game because the whole point of an open world game is connectivity. And I think that one of the most effective things that this game does is first of all, just the Souls games in general use lots of verticality, which it's just an easier way to make things connect together. Like, uh-oh, he's getting it out, here it comes. There's this thing, especially when I was in college, I did a lot of shit with platformers, and it was a lot of fun. Alright, so like, I did a lot of 2D platformer shit, where, like, let's say you have some of these areas here. Like, this area and this area in a 2D platformer, they're very hard to connect together. You know what I mean? Like, if you want area A and B and C to be connected together, it's quite hard. Like, you could do something like this, but then imagine if you wanted to add area D and you wanted to have them all connect together. Connections between regions can be a really pleasing thing. You know, I mean, there's lots of games and, like, you know, lots of Zelda dungeons where you kind of traverse like this and you get to room B, and then it loops back to room C, and then boom, you're back to room A again. And it's kind of satisfying to be like, got it all connected together, as opposed to, you know, here's A, and here's B, and here's C, and here's D, and we're just going through, bam, 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 right? You're just going straight across. Like, this kind of thing. Yeah, connectivity is fun compared to this linearity, and there you go. And so, like, the Souls games did a really good job of saying, okay, well, if you have a third dimension, you can have A and B and C next to each other, and D can just sit on top. It's, like, way easier to just have, like, a path that goes out and up and connect. The access to the third dimension solves a lot of the problem of making things feel interestingly and coolly interconnected. So this leads up that way. So then this means that we haven't actually explored over on this right path yet. So what do we do here? Probably going to jump across. And so, like, already I think that the Souls games do a brilliant job of this feeling of interconnectivity. And what I think is cool is that they translated this in a large way to a lot of the open world areas. Because again, open world games tend to be about not creating restriction, not blocking you off from things, not putting a barrier in your way. It's supposed to be go everywhere, do everything at any point in time. But I mean, like, this game does a lot of both. Like this underside lake area is open, but then there's this huge cliff face, and I mean, I literally haven't figured out how to get up here. There'll probably be a teleporter. There'll probably be some other way for me to get up here later, but I haven't been able to get up here. And it's exciting. Literally trying to get anywhere past here has just been an astounding pain in the ass. And that's really exciting. We have an elevator. Alright, well, let's first things first. There's fucking nothing here, is there? Alright. It would not surprise me if there was a bonfire up on the top side, but I couldn't even give a shit. Alright, it's still up there. Calstream Stuff says, I've read about issues training gamers to actually look upward and think on the y-axis. What do you think FromSoft does to make it feel so natural? Well, I actually think that they don't make you need to, like, do looking up as the big issue. It's just that you go somewhere, and in order to... Does this break? Like, an example would be is if I walked down here, and then there was a ladder and I had to climb up. So that sort of experience is what makes the space vertical. Less I have to look up and notice something, you know, that sort of thing. Looking up and noticing things is absolutely a huge fucking problem that gamers have. Like, absolutely, 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 absolutely. So, for instance, if I needed to solve a puzzle, and the way to solving the puzzle was looking up, that's a pickle. But, like, for instance, the fact that I climbed a ladder and was really high up above the area, and I could feel myself corkscrewing up, that's really sweet. That's really cool. And that's what I mean by verticality. It's less that you constantly need to pay attention to all axes. Because most of the time you only need to pay attention to the XZ plane. Give me a break. I feel like I've learned the lesson hundreds of times. Urumi, what is this? Is this a whip? It is. Oh, sweet. Who's ready for the Urumi? Oh, it's kind of like the sword, snake sword from Ivy. You know, like an open world game that I play a lot, that I heard. I saw a lot of people give me the sort of, did you really play this one a lot, Sean? What the fuck? It was Fallout 3. Fallout 3 hit me at a really significant time in my life. I was kind of feeling really apathetic, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, or even with my time. You know, one of those feelings where you're just like, dude, it's the weekend, what now? And I started playing Fallout 3, and I was just completely absorbed. Uh-oh. And that game makes almost no use of verticality. It's just a lot of flat, sort of rolling landscapes, and, you know, there happens to be a factory that you can walk in that has multiple floors. Oh, sick. Oh, cool. This is this whole area. Nice. There happens to be, like, multiple floors in some zones, but it's not like you go deep beneath the earth and come all the way up and pop out around this way, and then it reconnects and interlinks there. It's sort of, kind of doing it, but again, it's very much so like, here, you're in Section A. Now you're in Section B. Now you're in Section C. And the game's like, you can't disagree with me that Section B took place underground. But it's one thing... Whoops. I accidentally hit that button adjusting myself and reminded myself that that is an important thing that I should use. Anyways, yeah, I think that FromSoft is one of the first developers that I've seen really make levels that are super vertical. For instance, I mean, all of Dark Souls 3 is an incredibly high stack of ruins. It's just on top. They just keep going up, and you keep going down. And they keep interconnecting. And I'm trying to think of any other game that has really done that. By the way, what did I just get up here? What was the thing that I got up here? I wasn't even paying attention. I got the whip, and there was something that I just picked up. Huh? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, Subnautica is another game that's... Oh, yeah, Somber Smithing Stone 3. Fantastic. 26K? Great. Jesus. My memory. Oh. Yeah, there's just not a lot of games that use verticality. Because, I mean, there are some things in games and their design that is about quality. You know, like, oh yeah, this combat system feels really good. By the way, we're trying to get Faith to 17. We've said that as our other goal. Metroid Prime has fantastic verticality. In ways it has it. In ways. Like, I feel like Metroid Prime, a lot of the areas were... And imagine I'm drawing in 3D. You know, you have these sort of areas where... Here's the gameplay section here. And then you kind of have another one of these areas up here. This is actually pretty fucking good, yeah. You have areas that are kind of like this. So, it's again, it's like a mostly horizontal area, and then you kind of work your way up, and there's a mostly horizontal area. And when you start, like, looking at it, and then you'll have another one over here and another one over here, and these are getting increasingly more and more and more vertically placed with respect to each other, but it doesn't have the same sort of sense of gnarledness that these games do. And frankly, just making these kinds of vertical 3D levels, it feels more about choice and technology than about skillful design. In that you can obviously do a really good job and a really bad job of making areas, and I think FromSoft does a very, very good job. Don't want to take anything away from FromSoft in that regard. But rather, I'm saying it's not like, oh, the whole reason that they're able to do vertical design is their skill. No, literally anyone can do it. It's just something that, incidentally, I think has not been chosen very often. I can just slash. These guys are actually bad at turning this way. Literally turning this way. Ethan says, need a hand. Oh! It's kind of funny. This is the first place I went to. And I was like, I need to explore elsewhere. I thought that this was progression. I should have known. Here's the exit. Holy shit! Yeah, I mean, I just think it's so interesting when a game just chooses to do something. When there's just choice. Choice. It's someone sitting down going, hey, you know what would be cool? Holy fuck. So I'm pretty sure that I have done... Alright, give me. You know, like if you say, hey, let's do verticality. Get him. Get him. It's amazing that this game says, yeah, you know what would be cool is if some of that verticality went under the ground. That's awesome. I mean, that's fucking awesome. Alright, well, aren't I disappointed? There's nothing noteworthy here. I could have explored this right at the very start. I'm trying to think of, like, what are examples of sweet choices in games? I should have done this from the get-go. What are some examples? What are some examples of just like, well, they just chose to do it? It's like fucking awesome. What's it, Faith level 17? A single incantation that I am convinced will be okay. I love that noise so much. I love this Naginata. What is a good example of what the hell I'm talking about? Smash Ultimate, the director said, I want every single character that has ever been in a Smash game to be in this game. Like, you just choose to do that. And I remember reading stories about when people in the room heard Sakurai say that, and they were like, every fucking single one? So I'm trying to ask myself, oh, come on. Heal me. By the way, just a brief note. I want to note. I think Scouse, we deleted that message, but I think that's a pretty fine message. And by the way, I just want to note that because we're in sort of a we're being anti-spoiler tyrants today, we're probably over timeouting people, so we're sorry about that. Ghost Star says if Sean asks you for we'll ban Sean later. Alright, well, you know, maybe I deserve it. What incantation is Sean saving for? I have no fucking clue. Bleach is back. I have no clue, man. Couldn't tell you if I tried. What? That's what I do. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Dang. E-Town Pro says, am I a terrible fan if I enjoy watching the battle against spoilers / backseaters as much as the game itself? Oh, no, you're not, V-Town Pro. I'm the same as you, dude. I'm the same as you. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's right. Black Flame Weapon. You're right, Danval. That's the one that we're saving up for. Dude, I love watching Dark Souls and seeing someone be like, where the fuck is the bonfire? And I'm like, you just have to throw yourself off that ledge. All you gotta do is look. I literally watched someone do this at Sen's Fortress like a week ago, because when you get to the top of the fortress, there's an edge that if you walk forward and you look down, there it is, right there. I just fucking didn't do it. It's the giant pit I left for myself. Fucking hell. I scared the shit out of myself. This lantern on. Remember how I said I'm certain there's one at the top of this, but let me go briefly explore first? Well, you know, fuck me, right? People in chat are like, fuck you. Beautiful. As a moment to say an ode to this game. An ode to this game's design. I want to talk about what I didn't like about Tunic in the context of what I do like about this here 10 out of 10 from your pal Sean's experience. So first of all, when you enter in, it goes Caria Manor, right? It has this, the words appear. And this creates a sense of ceremony. Oh, I have entered into a place. And let me actually back up. So I was playing Tunic, which I'd looked forward to for a long time, and maybe it gets great after I stopped playing it, but I played it for about 5.5 hours yesterday as a break from this game. And what it felt like was, oh, you explore this area and you do something, and then you're going to be in a slightly different area for 5 minutes, then you're going to be in a slightly different area for 10 minutes, and then you're going to kind of be here for another 30 minutes, then you're going to be here for 15 minutes, then you're going to be here for an hour, then you're going to be here for 20 minutes, and you're just kind of going from place to 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 place, and I never actually felt like I did it, or did a thing. By contrast, when you defeat... Oops, I'm at the wrong location. When you defeat Margit the Fell, right here, there's a moment where you get into the castle, and then you're on this outside edge, and then you get to the rampart tower, and then you go through this sequence and you reconnect to this gate, and then you maybe come back here and you work your way over here to the lift side chamber, then you work your way over to where Godric the Grafted is. Right? Like, there are these chunks, there's these moments, and all of this takes place in Stormvale Castle. And I want to note, as a very simple statement, when you see Stormvale Castle, there is an assertion that you will go through an experience that ends in a boss. Think about how subconscious and subtle and automatic that is. Stormvale Castle. And your brain goes, I'm about to go through a designed experience that ends in a boss. Just like that. And this designed experience has a progression to it. In the same way that when you watch a TV show, a single episode, or let's just take a movie, since it's simpler. When you watch a movie, there's some introduction to the characters, and then there's a moment where the character has a problem. And then there's complications, changes and twists, and it builds up to a climactic moment where they solve the problem, right? And this is actually the promise that happens the instant you hit play on the movie, that there's going to be some sort of arc that's presented to you in this sort of fashion. And this game, like this area, I'm going to use in a moment as a really great example of this. But when I was playing Tunic, I just kind of had, oh, so I'm just in this little area, and I'm just in that little area, and I'm just in this little area. Imagine if you took Elden Ring and you removed every single castle, every single dungeon, every single cave. And all you were doing was wandering around this beautiful upper area. Sure. I mean, there's some really nice things in there. But there's a moment where you just want a payoff, and satisfaction, and a moment. Like, yeah. And this area, without presenting anything to me explicit, has created a building set of expectations that, again, is just like a really well-made movie, or just like a sensation of watching a couple episodes of a great TV show. First, you enter Caria Manor Gate. Boom, it's right there. Then what happens? I begin to explore and scout around and scour this area. And it's kind of open. I can go down this area, which is kind of like just a little spoke off the center. Go up here. Oh, here's another little spoke. All right, then I go through here, and then I work my way up here. And immediately, when I'm here, my brain is quietly... It's very hard to notice unless you start being explicit about it. My brain is telling me I completed this area. It did this in a number of ways. First of all, there was an elevator that I mentally and visually know that I'm disconnected from the area that I was just in. It was a big, long, ceremonious moment where there's the transition in a time sense, and then I get here and I save here, which reminds me I'm done with what's behind me. And now we're in a different set of elevation that also aligns with the map being different. And soon enough, I'm expecting I'll hit a boss. Or I'll hit some big moment payoff in the end. And I feel like you could make a movie that doesn't have a climax. The climax happens at the start, and it gets quieter and quieter as it goes on. And I bet you could do something... Oh, shit. I bet you could make a movie like that and make it good. I bet you could. Well, why would you do that? Oh, nice. We should go get another flask real fast. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. That's a really, really hard problem, because the fact of the matter is people just kind of like this structure. And I think that a lot of... What am I doing? I think people like a sense of completion. They like having a boss at the end. They like getting done with a section of the dungeon and feeling like they get to cross it off. What's going on? Oh. My hands are still kind of used to the tunic controls from yesterday. Yeah, the fact that we're so high up, and even small things like how far down this is, does something very subtle. Like, this could have been a quarter the vertical height. Could have been a quarter the vertical height, but just by making it this much bigger, it gives a bigger sense of separation, making me feel like I completed the last space. Bigger sense of this being an independent area. Loud-ass dogs. I think it's incredibly effective. And it's kind of funny because, you know, we've basically only done this one thing today, and I think we'll only have time to do this one thing today, especially with how... When I go through areas, I tend to... be extremely slow when I go through areas. Don't even... But I feel like I'm progressing through an area. There's a difference between, ooh, I did 5 minutes of content. I will now get to do 5 more minutes of content. I will now get to do 5 more minutes of content. I will now get to do 5 more minutes of content. Versus, I'm at a castle, and I'm 30%, 60%, 90% done, and it's completed, and I completed something. Technically, both of these are of the format, I am continuing to get to play more of the game. But there's that moment of completion that I was just not feeling when I was playing Tunic. And I was actually surprised at the reviews. Like the... Okay, alright, me. Okay. It turns out I have misestimated how lucky I was at just getting good patterns early on. My bad. Dr. Parnassus says the scale of things feels George R. R. Martin inspired. Ooh, I would absolutely not be surprised at all if George R. R. Martin was like, make this world fucking gigantic, and it's all stretched around this gorgeous Eld tree that can be seen from everywhere in the world. I mean, that's just incredible. Yeah, but I was surprised that the ratings were so high. Not because I think the game doesn't deserve it. And, because a lot of times when people say I was surprised, what they're actually saying is, I'm right and I think other people are wrong. I mean this in a more basic way, like, when I play games, my reaction tends to be pretty on point with how I sort of expect people will gravitate towards it. Anyway, the reviews seemed overwhelmingly positive. Breaker TV says, do you think the reviews for Tunic are so good because they didn't play as long as you did? I have no idea. I don't even know how to make sense of it. And again, I mean that in quite a literal one. Like, I just really don't know what to think of it. Because it could be that everyone who played was like, no, I really enjoyed everything that was here. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm a dumbass and I didn't get it. And it was completely obvious to everyone but me. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Or maybe I was just about to get to the good part. Yeah, Greece. So that's where that giant is. And for what it's worth, like, a lot of Tunic, really nicely done. Although I QA'd the shit out of a buffer bug. Buffering is where if I go, like, tap, tap, depending upon when I do the second tap, it'll buffer. So if I go tap, tap, see how there was a little bit of buffering? But if I do it real quick, I'll only do the 1 slash. So there's a period of time where you can buffer the actions. And in Tunic, there was an inconsistency in how the buffering was happening that meant, you know how when you do this and then you want to roll? So you buffer the roll, you swing, and then swing, roll. And he does it. You see how when I said roll, that's when I pressed it. Oh. These fucking guys, huh? Love this. Yeah, and some of the inputs dropped, and that's like, okay, yeah, that's just like a bug to fix. And I sort of can see that the combat in that game is quite solid without it. Alright, let me just sneak through here with 2 different torches on at the same fucking time. It could be that game gets great, or I just wasn't thinking about it correctly. Maybe I've just been pre-programmed for Elden Ring. Mr. Greaves says, I didn't see much of Tunic, but I don't know if you're the target audience for it. Yeah, I'm trying to understand where my gap is. Because here is a possibility, and I'm not actually convinced that this is a fair statement. It's certainly a possibility that everyone was reviewing kind of the general sensations that they were reacting to positively, and they just didn't understand it as well as Day 9 did, who just is the arbiter of what is good and bad in games. Oh, this Day 9 fella, he just knows things that other people don't know. He can think the way that other people can't. Well, I hear a way in. I don't exactly think that's a possibility. Fuck, do I get in there? Ah! Wait a minute, where am I? Ah! Get in there. Smoothing Stone 4. Have you seen the MTGA economy news? No, dude. I have, like, Magic the Gathering is still probably my #1 most played off-stream game. If I can draw them out. And I've just been only playing Elden Ring. All I've been thinking about is Elden Ring. Lazuli Glintstone Sword? Fuck yeah, man. But there's some games that I really fucking think are some of the best shit ever. And they just don't review well. Earth Defense Force, most notably. Oh, he woke up. Holy shit, is this guy's first time playing this? Oh. Alright, can't quite get to his head, but I don't need to. This guy's like first time Dark Souls player. He's like swinging a huge sword in there. Troll's Night Sword? No. Oh my god, I bet it's huge. Is it a great sword? It's a colossal sword. Don't have enough int for it. Clearly, Sean is not strong enough. This is the Grafted Blade Greatsword. Ruins Greatsword. Look at this, dude. I am, by the way, this is something, after I get my faith up, dude. Look at this. Alright, look at this Ruins Greatsword. I feel so lucky to have gotten this. This I got after fighting against this one pair of bosses that was so long. Look what happens if I just... This is just the right trigger swing. Dude. It's super slow. But literally, if I just swing my right trigger... Oh, fuck, it's so good. Let's get our Naginata back up. Ixidor with the 5 gifties. Thanks, Ixidor, you little sweetheart. Yeah, great swords. And there's an item in Dark Souls called a Dragon Tooth. Oops, put it over here, huh? Can I get up here? Maybe. And I mean, basically a lot of the great swords and great clubs are about staggering the enemy. Stabby, stabby. I just love this one. It's a good balance of range and speed. I like things that are a little faster. Go to the side first. Hi. Hi, Steak of America. So I also want to point to the sense of ceremony that is happening here. I mean, like, all that I am pointing to is continued attempts at re-articulating why I didn't have a super strong reaction to Tunic. Because again, it's not that like I played Tunic, I'm like, oh shit. It's not like I'm like, oh, this game sucks. This game was made by morons, so they don't know what they're doing. Shit. Rather, it's just like what this game does, right? So like right here, we spent time talking about how this entire area down here, it feels like it's completed. And then there's this building, and there's kind of ways to like work your way around it. But there's just this long stairwell up that creates this ceremony of where you're working your way up it. Oh, that's just like, it's so invigorating. It's so exciting. You know, this feeling of working through this very grand entrance. The structure itself is more grand. The action that you're doing is very grand. All right, what do we got here? Cold Glenn says, how do you feel about the stealth mechanics in Elden Ring? It feels like most enemies won't notice if you kill a guy 5 feet from them. I had a hard time not having it ruin my immersion. I mean, I've played games for so fucking long that I don't give a shit about what immersion is. No, that's not a true statement, but it's still fun to say. Like, everything in games is about, like, no, you're not stepping into a sense that you're there. You're stepping into a sense that you're in this game world. You know, like, I have not played a game where the stealth mechanics felt realistic at all, ever, save for, except maybe the original Thief. But even the original Thief had things where you could lean out, and the character would be walking into you, and be unable to see you, but would be physically blocked by you, and sitting there. Ugh. But what I will say about the stealth mechanic, what I like about this, is I think the biggest ruinous thing that you can do in... with stealth and combat is I hate when a game goes, here's a really rich, complicated stealth system, and then you sneak a little bit and you get spotted. All right, time to fucking kill everybody, and it's like this part doesn't even matter. Who cares about this stuff? It's the same sort of thing as a game that says you can put points into damage or put points into health, but you always have more than enough health, so who cares if you can put points into it? Bam, 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 bam. You just jam it all the way into your damage. So whenever there is stealth and combat, I find that often you sneak until you're caught and then you just fight. And that's what I like about this game, that it's structured in that way. You only have one thing to do, which is this. And then you can hit some guys, and then people are like, oh, who the fuck is this? And then they fight you. I'll be right back. Let me get some. Excuse me, Sugar Bear. Please, don't move on my back. I'm thirsty. Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah, talking about ceremony, I feel like I worked my way up into this area, and I've seen nothing like this. This area is fucking beautiful. And obviously there's the boss right there. Can I walk into this? Oh. Shit. I am over leveled. Trying some different patterns, and they're not working. Oh my god. Ah yes, the classic Elden Ring. Hold up the sword, wait a second. Wait a second, wait. Swing. Ay. Holy shit! Alright, he does change. He's doing different shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, I hate that fucking thing. God. Kind of. Jesus. Oh. A one-shot plot. Yeah, let me just give a shout out to this thing that we have built towards. Look at this thing. Look at this. It's giving 70% damage negation to magic. And this is even with this Radagon Scar Seal. See, if I remove this, take a look at these damage reduction numbers. Look at this. Boom. I mean, they go up significantly, but I think the stat gain is just, it's too much. But yes. Yes. What level's your main weapon? 14. Darkly, wait. Wait, is Deneb here? Oh no, Deneb is not here. Oh, fuck, man. Because Deneb, you will recall, was making the joke of, I think Day 9 will die to the next boss. And we were like, no, 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 Deneb, that is not how we do that here. No, sir. You are grounded, young man. We're getting in on him. And then I didn't die to him. I mean, look at just how elegantly constructed this dungeon was, you know? I mean, this was nearly a perfect example of everything I've been talking about. There's chunks, there's phases. It escalates environmentally. It builds up to a really cool boss fight. Whoa! Oh, that's the first time I hit it? I literally thought I sat here like 6 times. Hey, we're almost at 17 faith, everybody. It's gonna be so sick when we get there. Day 9 too strong. It's 2. It's true. Also, can we just give a shout out to the most incredible human beings and mods on all of Twitch? We got Ghost Stalker here. The absolute goatist. I'm in 17 faith. I can use what seems to be a mediocre incantation. And here's the thing. I don't use builds. I'm not looking to min-max. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with the systems in these games, but I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want to do, you know? Let's go. But Neshian is saying, do you think your appreciation of other games you played changes because of your recent experiences with very good or very bad games? Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I think that there's an aspiration I know some people have. Holy shit. Wow, what a view. And I've talked about this before. The games create the ceremonial build-up, and the obstacle, the final boss. You beat the final boss, bam! And then it's rewards on the other side. Not just rewards in terms of getting more spells, in terms of getting more runes to level up, but in terms of getting something beautiful like this. Oh! So now I'm at the upper areas. Damn. What an exceptional way to invite me up into this region. To create this little dungeon here. I didn't even realize that this was a castle. Incredible. Oh, where does this shit go? Fuck yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, Neshian, I think that there's something that I think a lot of publications try to do. Unbelievable. Alright, well, I'm not going to fuck around. I'm going straight here, man. Oh my god, is this just open? I'm going to go to the edge. Yeah, there's a thing that publications do where they try to, like, make sure that they are absolutely and perfectly neutral and consistent in their sort of evaluations. I mean, a great way to frame my inconsistency is that I didn't like Dark Souls at first. I didn't get it, so I was like, yeah, I mean, I made all sorts of negative comments about it. And then I played it again later and was like, okay, I'm starting to get it, and now it's, like, literally my favorite game. Like, my opinions on things change quite regularly. And I have no interest in trying to pretend like they're not going to. And in fact, if you even say, Sean, I think you have a fixed opinion about this thing, I probably don't. It's probably changed. Caleb Calamari gifted us 25 after seeing one-shot plot smash his way through Karyamana, despite getting finger smashed once. Shadowcast just gifted 5 subs. Oh my god, Shadowcast. Caleb Calamari, give some warmth to Caleb Calamari. You may, in fact, be able to talk. You may, in fact, have gotten a sub. Look, Edox says thanks for the gift sub. Oh, Edox, you're such a little sweetheart. Zenkai's and Finger Smash would have missed opportunity. Indeed, I avoided the obvious sexual innuendo. So, is that... Are the 3 sisters this tower, and this tower? I think they may very well be. Rena's Rise. Oh, fuck. What do we have here? The mists are quite thick. I didn't look behind Rena's Rise. I wonder if the mist ever clears over here. This might actually be smart to, like, not hide things over here. So it takes away from the grandioseness. I hear a great twinkle, though. Shadowcast, how are you doing today, man? Can't tell if it's a save point. One of these bastards. Get him. Chilling mist. Caleb Calamari didn't even sub themselves. Welcome, Caleb Calamari, and thank you for the warm support. It's 31 in a day. Ah, damn. Shadowcast says, I just got back from a long 4-day trip for a funeral and a long 9-hour public transit ride. I feel like absolute shit. Glad to see you still playing Elden Ring. Oh, God. Dude, let it all out. We got you, man. Enjoy feeling like crap. knowing we got your back, man. Here, you know what'll cheer you up? Watching me die, won't it? Oh my god, look at how that glints. My horse! Welcome back! Drink. Oh, he's on me. I see. Right into that, didn't I? Torrent, welcome back. Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, I mean, the stabbing on the horse is a little rough in this game, but that's alright. Someone says, Sean, I missed the end of DK30. Did you end up talking about Agile? Yeah, I mean, I have some opinions on Agile methodologies. For any of you curious, here's the idea of Agile in a nutshell, right? And I am going to oversimplify to the point where there's some errors. And I don't even give the smallest bit. Fuck. Where'd my compass go? I want to get my souls back. Hello. I died over here, I think. There it is. Alright, stand up. So I'm not going to tell you anything more. Camera souls. I can't talk about this at the same time. Alright. Thought I was in the right position. Okay, you got it. So I can't do anything while I'm in this state. Okay. Okay, let's... Oh, I see, I'm hitting jump. I'm doing it, I'm hitting him. Hello? Okay. So Agile is kind of the idea that, like, let's imagine that we are making a piece of software. Technically, we could have some people sit there and plan and plan and plan and plan and plan and plan for like 5 months, figure out everything, and then hand it to their programmers. Kaboom! All right, guys, make this. But over time, people started to go, yeah, you know, this is probably not the best way to make software. We're probably going to learn more about what our needs are and what the problems are the deeper we get into the game. Or, excuse me, the deeper we get into the project. So, for instance, if you were making a game, you might say something to yourself like, let's see, I'm trying to go here. Did you hear that? You hear grunting, man? What the hell was that? So, for instance, let's say the thing that we're making is this game. We might say, okay, let's make huge, open spaces. Oh. And we're pretty sure that getting the assets to load in correctly in huge open spaces. Let's allocate 6 months of time to do that. You might discover when you're getting into it that it actually only requires like 3 months, or that it actually requires 24 months, right? So, you know, there was this methodology of producing stuff called Agile. And the idea of Agile is you basically kind of work in short bursts where you, like, say, hey, what are we going to do for the next 2 weeks? You do it, and then you stop and you go, okay, what are the big problems? What are the product needs? Okay, let's plan the next 2 months, or 2 weeks. Then you do the next 2 weeks. Okay, we did that. Okay, what's up now? Okay, let's do it again. Nice. And a theory behind this is that this allows you to quickly adjust to what is the most important thing. And, like, let's imagine that we're making a website where people can order stuff. We might have plans to have our website allow credit cards and cash and check and Bitcoin, you know. And so we got it working with credit cards, and we discover after 2 weeks that literally nobody is asking us for other payment methods, but people are having real issues with their search pages taking too long to load. So the idea of Agile is that you just be like, oh, dude, great, then let's just focus on that, because Agile allows us to be flexible. And again, I recognize that I'm oversimplifying to the point of possibly just being wrong at times. All right. Oh, hell yeah. Who doesn't love that audio? I'll listen to that shit again. And it has been really positive for some people. It's been really positive for some people with their work, because it's just like, oh my god, yes, we're working on this website, it's live all the time, and people are so... Oops, no, please do not chew on that. People are so convinced that they know what's up, and then every 2 weeks it turns out that everyone's wrong, we need to redo it, you know. Hey, and we're really grateful that we're using this process to allow for that. Could we not chew on my only headphones? Yeah, and look, I'm petting her, I'm rewarding her. Hey, dude. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're gonna put you down. Yeah. Oh my god, hello. But also Agile, I have heard, I have seen that sometimes what this can cause is no one to feel like they need to do anything. No one needs to be in charge. There's no long-term vision. There's no long-term leadership. It's just like, well, guys, great news. We don't have to figure out what the fuck to do. We just ask ourselves what's a short-term thing we can get done in 2 weeks, and we just do that.
Oh, again we cross paths. I believe I said my name was Rena when last we met. It pleaseth me to see Torrent hale and hearty, but tarnished. What business hast thou here? I have no memory of inking thee an invitation. No reason in particular thou claimest. Intriguing. Then mayhaps fate hath steered thee to this reunion. Wilt thou enter into my service? I am the witch Rani. I stole death long ago, and search now for the dark path.
I say yes
Till
to
I may
everything.
one day upend the whole of it, and rid the world of all that came before. Well, has that roused thy interest? I see thou art a rare sword, but I require as much of those under my command. I anticipate. Good. Then I ask we proceed with haste. There is, in my service, a half-wolven warrior by the name of Blythe. I would have thee join him in searching for the hidden treasure of Nokron, the Eternal City.
Could we not?
I have called for Blythe to greet thee below. Take from him the particulars. Ah, and there wilt thou find Iji, my war counselor, and Salavis, preceptor in the sorcerous arts. Also, heed not their peculiarities. Feel secure in gaining from them what advantage thou canst. I am sure the others will be doing just the same. Speak with the thou needst not indulge them, and it hath been a passing long time.
Sure. All right, cool. So I'm now going to go all the way back down, and we now have a place called Norcron. Cool. But yeah, so Solon, so there's some good and some controversy around Agile, as always. Controversy around things as usual. But Solon was like, hey, you're trying to teach Agile to your knights. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's the case. Because really, and you may have meant it as a joke, but the whole idea of DK30...
Oh, so you were the one. Lady Rani has explained everything.
Oh, okay.
Again, I am Iji, the Karian royal family's dedicated blacksmith.
I thought it was going to be
and
like one of those
Lady
ghosts
Rani's
that moans.
war counselor. I'm told that you are searching for Nokron with Blythe. I will give you whatever guidance. I never imagined that an audience, let alone service to Lady Rani, was in your fate. I, for one, should have seen. Do forgive me. Let us give all together.
All right. Is he going to tell me about
Let us
Norcron?
give all together
All right, cool.
for Lady Rani.
I mean, the whole point of DK30 is when it comes to trying to get stuff done for yourself, it is really important, it is really essential to not stretch yourself too far, stretch yourself too big. You know, it's kind of like the idea of baby steps. And there's a lot of things that people say in terms of trying to get stuff done, trying to make progress on your personal projects, and just saying, guys, take baby steps. Is, hey, you figure out what the fuck to do, but just kind of generally tell yourself it's small. A DK30 is a much, much, much more concrete, much more structured form of baby steps. It has a lot of benefits.
I heard about you. Name's Blythe. Sworn sword to Mistress Rani. Well,
Oops.
I'm situated in Limgrave right now. The eternal city of Nokron lies somewhere at the bottom of this land. I'm planning to go below through the well in the Mistwood. See if
Mistwood?
I can't find the road to Nokron from there.
Mistwood? Where's
I'm
Mistwood?
going to see if I can't find. Don't keep me waiting.
Okay. And the last person to talk to. I mean, I'm trying to hurry because I have to leave at 5:30. It's 5:20 right now. I have to leave at 5:30. And what I'm going to try to do is kill that
I
dragon.
see. You must be Rani's new hireling.
You still
Yes,
totally don't have a
yes,
maiden.
I've heard all about you. I am Salavis, preceptor in the sorcerous art. I don't know what it is the mistress sees in a provincial, tarnished like
Provincial.
you, but since we have the misfortune of serving the same lady, I ask that you kindly try not.
Alright, bye-bye, don't care.
I reside in another tower close by. Come and pick.
Alright, well. Let's go to Rena's Rise. What the fuck is going on here? Okay.
I reside. Come and pay me if should you. If it were up to me, but who?
Okay, so... So I have a couple theories as what to do here. Sit here. And then I leave here, and then they should all be gone. Look at me paying attention to the lore of the game. Look at me paying attention to the lore of the game. You don't even need to explain that to me. It obviously works that way itself. We are connected to people that are in different locations. Of course, the answer is to return back to my world by touching the side of grace. It's incredible. It's incredible. That said, I do think that that's a little bit bullshit. Where's my swag and dragon? So, see, well, watch this very non-spoilery question. Did anyone else's dragon just buzz off like that? Yep. Sick. Salmon, Reneth Rise. Locked shut for now. That noise from Disenchantment? Oh, God, I'm about to ask such a stupid question, Oregon Crete. I'm so self-conscious about what I'm about to ask you. Watch. You know, I'll do it. You know, I'm willing to take the hit. What noise? You see how dumb of a question that is? The woo whoop. I know not of what you speak. Because when you type boo whoop, I hear boo whoop, which is the whistle. Come on, video game. Come on, video game. Oh my God, the Black Wolf mask. Nope. It's worse than my imp mask. Which is, as we all know, absolutely insane. Of course, man, every time I watch you, I find an item I missed. Well, I mean, I'm pretty... Salutis' Rise. Oh, we're joking me here, huh? Alright, fine. Crawling all the way up. Hello, you have found me. Oh, all these memory stones. I can't even cast my incantations. Ugh. And the three sisters being the three towers, huh? Literally, hello, I was just talking to you in the spirit realm.
Well, you took me at my word. Did you not realize I was merely being polite? Oh, you provincials never cease to amaze. I suppose you're here now. Perhaps I'll give you something to do. I'd like you to find a woman called Nefeli to administer a potion. Even you can do that much, can't you? Good. Now I shall hand over the potion in question. Fine. I expect
Where is she?
I know the only thing I will hear from you is, are we under? I have enough. I'm the only thing. Are we under? I have enough.
Is you enough? I want to keep looking at stuff. Well, what an excellent day it was. And I guess I know now that Preceptor Saluvis was the entity casting that spell in this area. I haven't explored over here. I haven't explored over here. And yet more progress was made. Grave Glovewort. I have a lot of these things. Ghost Glovewort. Let's see here. Alright, well, I mean, that's going to be our stream for the day. We've gone through most of this manor, and I think this was just incredible. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to polish off this upper area. We can't seem to enter into Rena's Rise, but I'm going to go through this, and then I'm going to carve out some of this, and then finalize with this. And then I actually think I'm going to venture into the unknown, is the next thing I'm going to do, instead of returning to Caelid. I think I'm going to venture into the unknown. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. And I'm also really curious about this structure right here, and this grand path that seems to lay into the east. Oh, thank you warmly, everyone, for joining us today. Oops. Level 69. Oh, yeah. Next week is Elden Ring. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all day. Friday, tomorrow, we're going to be taking a break from our single-player smashing. We're going to be doing a stream of Storybook Brawl, which is an auto-battler. We've streamed it before. Ah.